This is the poorest and unhappiest country in the world. In the heart of Africa, time has not only stopped, it seems to be moving backward. Imagine a place where the salary of a top professional is just $15 a month, where 2 million people go through life without ever knowing the taste of meat, and where the international airport uses trial computer software just to avoid paying licensing fees. But the real shock is on the roads. Here, survival depends on old iron bicycles with no brakes, hauling up to 200 kilos of cargo. To avoid collapsing from exhaustion on the climbs, men grab onto the back of moving trucks, and on the way down, they reach 80 kilometers per hour in a balance that is, to say the least, terrifying. In this landscape of mountains and hypnotic beauty lies the second deepest lake on Earth, holding 16% of the planet's fresh water, but also hiding Africa's largest predator, a crocodile that has already devoured hundreds of human beings. Today, on Complex Planet, we are heading into Burundi, and you are about to understand the machinery behind one of the most contradictory countries on Earth. Burundi is a landlocked country, meaning it has no access to the sea. With an area of nearly 28,000 square kilometers, it is roughly comparable in size to Belgium or Equatorial Guinea. Small as it is, the country is home to a massive population of around 12.5 million people. The national language here is Kirundi, followed by French, a legacy of the Belgian colonial era. The official currency is the Burundian franc. But in practice, the US dollar dominates the black market, with exchange rates that can reach double the official value. The largest city and former administrative center is Bujumbura, on the shores of Lake Tanganyika, while the political capital and second largest city is Gitega. Living here is a logistical struggle. With no access to the ocean, the country depends on deteriorating roads to import almost everything. If you think your job is exhausting, you need to meet Burundi's cyclists. With fuel both expensive and scarce, the bicycle has become the nation's cargo truck. They haul up to 200 kilos of bananas or jugs of palm oil on old iron bicycles, often with no gears and no brakes. Danger is everywhere. To save energy, they climb the mountains by hanging onto the back of moving trucks, or they pay push helpers, men who earn about 10 cents to shove the overloaded bicycles uphill for 15 minutes. On the way down, the danger becomes extreme. They can hit 80 kilometers per hour. One pothole or one mechanical failure means death. Many lose their lives every year in this struggle, all for just 90 cents a day. It is an economy powered by muscle and courage. In Burundi, 70% of the population lives below the poverty line. The average income is $20 a month, but many survive on just $15 while supporting families of up to 10 people. The basic diet is beans, cassava, and rice. In the south of the country, survival comes from the palm trees, where children learn early to climb giant trees with no safety equipment at all in order to harvest the fruit and produce palm oil. Meat is so expensive that average consumption is only 14 grams a day, which means about a tablespoon. A liter of oil or a kilo of sugar costs nearly half a monthly salary. It is a calculation that never adds up, which is why 1 in every 20 people dies from malnutrition. Eating 3 times a day is considered a miracle. Burundi is home to Lake Tanganyika, the second deepest lake in the world, holding 16% of all the planet's fresh water. Yet despite having so much water right beside them, access to clean drinking water at home is extremely limited. The lake is used for everything: fishing, washing clothes, and bathing. Tanganyika is also home to giant crocodiles, including the infamous Gustave, said to have killed hundreds of people. And beyond animal attacks, fishermen must also face primitive boats that can easily flood. In Burundi, even trying to make a living from the water is a constant risk of death. Living in Burundi is a race against time. Life expectancy is now around 60 years, but in the past decade, it was as low as 49. The healthcare system is extremely fragile. There is only one doctor for every 35,000 people. Diseases like malaria become deadly simply because treatment is unavailable. Iron and vitamin deficiencies cause physical and cognitive developmental delays in thousands of children. It is a cycle of poverty that begins before birth and grows worse because of the lack of hospitals in rural areas. Burundi is a very young country. Nearly half of its population is under the age of 15. Access to education is a battle. Many children walk up to 3 hours just to reach a classroom. With no money for backpacks, they carry their notebooks tucked inside their clothes to protect them from the rain. Only 32% of students complete primary education, and less than 1% make it to university. Many leave school to work in agriculture. For women, the reality is even harsher. Around 20% are forced into marriage before the age of 18. Burundi's poverty today is rooted in its colonial past under German rule and later Belgian control. It was through European missionaries that Christianity arrived and became the dominant religion. Today, around 84% of the population is Christian, alongside Muslim minorities and traditional beliefs. In 1933, the Belgian administration made a catastrophic decision. It divided the population into Hutus, 85%, and Tutsis, 14%, through identity documents. This division was based on superficial traits such as height and the shape of the nose. Those who were taller and had narrower noses were classified as Tutsi and granted privileges, while Hutus were treated as the lower working class. On July 1st, 1962, Burundi finally declared its independence from Belgium, ceasing to be a trust territory and becoming a constitutional monarchy. But the departure of the colonizers did not bring peace. Without an external common enemy, the tensions artificially created between Hutus and Tutsis erupted. The country endured decades of military coups and instability, transitioning from a monarchy to a republic in 1966, yet always remaining under the control of military elites. The darkest moment came in 1993, when the country's first democratically elected president, a Hutu, was assassinated by Tutsi soldiers just 4 months after taking office. That event triggered a devastating civil war that lasted 12 years. The conflict officially ended only in 2005, with the signing of peace agreements and the inauguration of Pierre Nkurunziza. Although the guns largely fell silent across the country, the social scars and economic destruction left by that period are the direct reasons Burundi now holds the position of the poorest country in the world. While the world today debates artificial intelligence, Burundi remains the fourth least connected country on the planet. Only 13% of the population has access to the internet, leaving the country in an information blackout. That digital isolation makes it easier for the government to maintain tight control, closely monitoring any sign of movement or dissent. The economic isolation we see today has a clear origin: the political crisis of 2015. That year, then-President Pierre Nkurunziza decided to run for a third term, despite the fact that it violated both the country's constitution and the peace agreements that had ended the civil war. The result was a wave of violent protests and even an attempted coup. In response to the brutal crackdown on demonstrators and the lack of democratic freedoms, the European Union and other international donors, who were funding nearly half of the government's budget, suspended direct aid. Their message was simple: no democracy, no money. The consequences were disastrous. The country was hit with severe sanctions, fuel supplies dropped sharply, and in many villages, the economy slipped back into barter. For tourists, the atmosphere is tense. Roadblocks where police demand bribes are common, and even simple activities like group jogging were banned because they were seen as a way for opponents to organize against the government. In Burundi, isolation is not just technological, it is a tool of political survival. Burundi teaches us that extreme poverty is a cruel barrier, but also that human dignity endures. Seeing a cyclist race down a mountain with no brakes just to provide for his family forces us to question our own everyday complaints. On paper, the country may rank as the unhappiest in the world, but its people are united and resilient. Burundi does not need pity, it needs infrastructure and opportunity, so that all of that effort can finally turn into progress. What about you? Could you survive a week in this reality? And if you also want to see the other side of the coin and discover one of the happiest countries in the world, we have already made a video about Bhutan, where happiness is practically the law. I'll leave it here on the end screen. Be sure to leave a comment below and subscribe to Complex Planet for more journeys like this one. Every week, there is a new video about the most beautiful and contradictory places on the planet. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end, and I'll see you in the next video.